there, party people out there. Let me clear my throat real quick. Just had a little sip of this coffee. If you couldn't tell, dude, episode 60. We out here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be a fun episode. The big 6-0. Good coffee, good vibes, good music coming your way. And this has been, if you've been with us since the start, here we are, every fifth episode. Now that we're at number 6-0, it's time for another caffeine giveaway. So keep an eye out on the IG for that. I'm going to be posting a little post and letting you know how you can enter for a chance to win some free coffee, a free bag of beans. Listen, I get it. Most people, we find something that we like, and then you're like, that's it. I don't want to go and keep exploring other things and, wasting money. And then maybe I don't even like the thing. So I get it. We get stuck in our ways. But you know what? I'm doing all that searching so you don't have to, right? They're easy peasy. If you've participated in a giveaway in the past, the bar for entry is very low. It'll probably be like just like this post for a chance to enter. And y'all know what's up with the wheel of names. So we'll a little more info about that on the IG page. But for now, thank you for tuning in. Let's get into this caffeine breakdown. All right. Here we go in the caffeine breakdown. If you couldn't tell already, I've had a cup or maybe a little more. But what are we talking about, dude? We're talking about Island Time Coffee Company, straight out of Whidbey Island. I still never been out to Whidbey Island, but we got this awesome little empty bag right here. Yeah, it is the Ferry Line Blues. Wah, wah. We've all been there. Maybe not. Maybe you haven't been there. If you haven't been there, you're lucky. But, I've been there a few times where you're in the line for the ferry and you're thinking you're going to make it on the boat, and then you don't make it on the boat. And it sucks because then the ferry system's been all out of whack recently, and there's only 2 boats, and then you got to wait 2 hours until the next boat comes, and then you're just sitting there moping around. It sucks. And it's probably raining. But anyways, this Ferry Line Blues, whole bean, medium roast. Dude, we ain't in Hawaii. We ain't in Indonesia. We're in the Pacific Northwest. Let me actually pour up a little bit of this right here. We in the PNW, dude. We got mountains. We got ocean. We got islands. Ooh, can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. Sheesh. Let me get a little sip of this. Okay. So we got some islands. The Island Boys. Whatever happened to those guys, huh? You remember that? Remember those guys? The Island Boys. So let's see what they say. What is Island Time Coffee Company say about this little cup of Joe right here? So this one here, with a broad range of tangy and with a broad range of tangy and aromatic flavors, this medium roast blend is the perfect choice for a full-bodied cup of coffee without any bitterness. There it is. There you have it. It's a blend. Where does it come from? Let's find out. Somewhere in either Indonesia or South or Latin America. That's what we say right here. Farm Direct. Island Time Coffee Company believes in sourcing only the most exceptional, sustainable coffees directly from farmers who share our passion for perfection. In journeying to these farms, we witness where and how our coffees are grown, experiencing firsthand the incredible dedication our farmers have for their craft and crops. Beautiful. Love it. You've been on the ground, boots on the ground. You're not just pulling the strings from up over here in the PNW. You're going out there, you're doing your thing, you're meeting the people. That's amazing. Um, Crafted specifically for the Northwest aesthetic, Island Time Coffee Company sources only the finest farm direct sustainable coffee beans from Latin America and Indonesia. All our coffee is small batch roasted, ensuring the best possible freshness. Love it. Love it. So, some good beans coming from some great places in the world. This one here is sold as a medium roast. Now, I'm gonna get into this here, but I get very much when I first open the bag of beans. Wow, you get hit with that, that aroma, right? Um, and I didn't really get the same aromas of like that nuttiness that you might get with some medium roast, with some lighter roast, and sometimes you get those berries, you get um that light, maybe tangy, I guess, a tangy aroma. Didn't really get that when I ground it up either. So I don't know, dude. I smelled more of like the smoky, tobacco-y kind of aromas, right? When you grind the beans. My sniffer might be off. I don't know. Do I sound a little nasally? I feel like I sound a little nasally. This time of the year, I think. Plus, it's morning right now. Um, so yeah, I disagree a little bit with that. Um, so interestingly enough, the aroma after you brew it is different, right? It doesn't the smoky and tobacco isn't accentuated. It actually does flip a little bit, and it's a little bit more of a broad aroma, again, to the trained nose, maybe this is a little bit different. But your boy, I got a little bit like let me just take a little sniff right here. I get like, those cookies, um like a molasses cookie, dude. With the sugar crystals on top. Those ones, the dark ones, like a little molasses, maybe a little ginger snap. Maybe that's what I'm getting. Yeah, yeah. Like a molasses ginger snappy kind of vibe, which is nice for this time of the year, November. Here we are. And take a little sip there. Yeah. Would I personally sell this as a medium roast? I'm not a roaster. But no. Just from what I've tried and all the different coffees that we've tasted, I would lean more towards the dark. I'd say this is medium dark to leaning a little bit more to the dark side. Yeah, that's for me. That's for me. So, yeah, I disagree a little bit with the bean, the medium roast that is designated here, and yeah, some of these beans look a little bit different. It's a blend, sure. So you're blending different beans from different places. Also, we'll get into that in a second here, but we don't get like where in South America. Like I'd like to know. I'd like to shout some of these farmers out. Where you getting the beans specifically? Is it one country specifically? Is it one grower specifically? So a farm somewhere? That'd be cool to know. I think nice to know because we're talking about directly from farm to farm. I almost said farm to table, but farm sourcing directly from the farm to here to the PNW. But where are these farms at? I didn't see anything about it online either. So give me a little more. It just leaves me wanting a little more info, you know? Okay, so brew style, we hit this because it was a little bit darker. First I tried it with the AeroPress, of course, solid. Um, the pour over, it came out a little bit. The flavors for the pour over were not what I was hoping to get. Again, leaning a little bit more towards that dark side of the roast. And so we did the French press, and the French press came out fine. I think, this would be a good one for if if you're just like putting this into your normal old drip. This would be a solid option because there's a mix of the beans, because it's a blend, and because some of these beans are dark. Look at these beans. Comparison. It's just like one's brown, one's light or medium, and one's dark. It's like night and day. You can see it right there. I'm gonna take a sip. If you're only listening to this, you can't see it, obviously. But moving on. So brew style, I like the French press the most. That's it. That's what I'm gonna leave it at. Appearance and packaging. Now, this is cool because I love the sticker. I love the sticker. You see the fairy. You see the Fairyland blues. You got a little water in there. We got the stand-up zipper pouch. So already A+ for that. Um, you know, it would be nice to see maybe a little bit of, like I was mentioning, a little info on here about exactly which farms these beans were gathered from. Because it says it right here, farm direct and sustainable. You know, I want to know. I want to know where they're not using these pesticides. So maybe I can give them a little bit more business, right? Yeah. And it says on here, it does not say blend. Sorry, I don't know what's going on right now. Right here, it does not say a blend, but I think all their stuff is blended. It'd be cool if it said it on the bag. So you don't think like, oh, I'm gonna grab this bag of beans direct from XYZ farm, and then you find out it's a blend. You're thinking you're getting a little single origin from South America, and you're not. So a little clarity would be cool right there. But anywho, all in all, so I'd say like, you know what, dude? This is just constructive feedback. I'm gonna just say a little more info about the farm would be great. I disagree with the medium roast. So I'm going to have to give this a little bit of a, like, probably on a scale of 10. We pass because I'm definitely caffeinated right now. But I'm going to say probably like a solid 7. 7 out of 10. C minus. Thank you, though. Oh, man. Ahora para las vibras. Dude, I'm getting a little sweaty right now. Hold up. All right. My nose always gets sweaty is the first thing that goes. You'll start seeing. If you're in a room with me and you look over and you're like, dude, it's getting a little toasty in here, you best believe my nose is going to start developing little beads of sweat on it. So, dude, what's up? What's been happening? Halloween came and went, dude. Spooky season is now in the rear view mirror. I hope that everybody got a lot of good candies. And if you give out candies, aspire to be the cool house on the block. Remember when we were kids and you would go trick or treating? Be the house that gives out the big candy bars. You know? Like, come on. I get it. They're expensive, but think about all those little children. You'd be making their day, making their week, dude. They go to school and they brag about that house on the corner that gave them the big Starburst or the big Snickers. Or people don't like Snickers these days. Maybe the big Kit Kat. I don't know what the kids are eating these days. I like Sour Patches myself, but hopefully nobody bit into any apples with razors or needles. People do that. That's just crazy. Don't be those people. So yeah, Halloween's in the rearview mirror. Hopefully, everybody had a safe and enjoyable Halloween if you celebrate. And we're now in the thankful season, dude. We're approaching. So, right now, two big things leaf peeping season Get out there, dude. Get out there and peep some leaves. Because I know you might be like, dude, shut up about leaf peeping. But once you see some really cool leaves out there, dude, it's over. It's kind of like the bird watching thing. Like once you see some cool birds and they come around, you're like, oh, this is not too bad. You know, it's cool. So leaf peeping is upon us. And also, is the time. Is the time. The inverse U of niceness, dude. I've talked about this in the past around holiday season, but this is the time where, people start to get nicer. And it's cool. I love it. Around the world, not world, around the US, because we celebrate certain holidays here. So this is my inverse U theory, right? If we're looking at a graph, you've got the x-axis, you got the y-axis. We start off Halloween, we're at 0, right? Point 0, bottom ground. People are getting, it's like the exact opposite of being nice, actually. Apart from giving candies out, you're dressing up as like ghouls and goblins and witches and werewolves and shit, right? But after that, it's all up, right? So here we are on our inverse U, so really an upside down U on a graph, right? Niceness being on the y-axis, so we're going up in niceness, right? So as we approach, Thanksgiving and then later Christmas, we're we're stoked, right? We're stoked about the gifts. We're stoked about the food. We're stoked about seeing family. We're stoked about all these things, right? So we immediately we start to be nicer and we're more appreciative and we smile a little more, maybe. We're around friends, we're around family. It's a good time. So we get nicer and nicer and nicer. Then the holidays come and then they go. And then the big shebang, New Year's Day. And then we're back at 0. Then it's February or January and there's snow and it's raining and it's cold and it's wet and nobody likes that. And so then we start getting grumpy again and then we go back into the rest of the year where there's not really any major holidays where we're hanging out with people. And so then we're back to square one. And then Halloween next year comes around again and we get back into the swing of the holidays and people start being nicer. I'm like, dude, just keep this going all year round, you know? Shoot. So here we are. November. Huh? Native American Heritage Month as well. So, we just went through Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month. So I'm gonna be doing this, because we see these things, they pop up. Everybody has it on their calendar, right? Whether you use Google Calendar, you use Apple, whatever it is, it's on your calendar, right? These national recognized holidays, heritage months, etc. So nobody has an excuse to not know when it is, right? But I'm also, for the longest time, I see it come up on the calendar and I'm like, oh, cool, whatever, but don't ever pay no mind to it or think about it any deeper. But, Native American Heritage Month. It's a time to celebrate, to honor the history, the heritage, the culture, all the accomplishments, contributions that the Native American or, more appropriate, indigenous peoples of this land that we currently inhabit, everything that they've done for the nation, for the United States of America, right? So, shout out and thank you to all of our Native American indigenous peoples, friends, family, colleagues, around the area that so honestly, think about it. Like so if European settlers came over here and there were no indigenous people, what would we have right now, right? What would look different? Like farming the land, probably wouldn't have figured that out to the extent that we have it now, because a lot of that stuff was learned from the Native American or indigenous people, right? Corn was a hot topic back in the day. I love corn, but I want to say corn wasn't really a big thing in European meals until after European colonization of the what is now the United States of America, or North America, and the Americas. We're just gonna call it the Americas. Um, so you know what? Native American Heritage Month is the absolute least that the USA can do in for all of the atrocities, dude, that have happened over the last several hundred years since European settlers came to the Americas, dude. A lot of literature, a lot of information out there about just how messed up the whole trajectory was between European settlers and the indigenous peoples. Dude, there's this book. I know I've talked about it, and I'm going to say it again. It's called Lies My Teacher Told Me. Check it out. James Loewen, I want to say. Loewen. James Loewen, I want to say is the... Let me just make sure who the author is. It is by James W. Loewen. Loewen. Yeah. Check that out, dude, because it's crazy. You learn a lot of gross stuff, but it makes you appreciate, I think, silver lining here, right? It really helped me like understand and appreciate, like, holy shit. Just because people say something or say something happened one way, you can't take that at face value, right? Even stuff that we learned in schools, right? So, anyways, dude, so learn a little bit about Native American history, about the indigenous people's culture. I want to shout out, dude, Moses, my buddy Moses. It's been a minute since the last time that we connected, but I hope you're doing well, and I hope you are living your best cowboy life out there, dude. My buddy Moses. So growing up, he is a Native American indigenous background. And dude, for the longest time, I remember he was always like, dude, I'm going to be a cowboy. I'm just cowboying and that's my life. And I was like, dog, shout out to you. Cause when I tell people that I'm from the country, like I grew up in very rural Eastern Washington, people don't really, like, you can be like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. But you don't like get it unless you've been there or like know people, a lot of people from that area, right? And yeah, man, everybody rode horses. People rode horses to school. Some people had, sometimes would come to school on a horse, or they'd have to leave school early because the horses got out and they're out in the pasture, or they're in, the goats got out. Dude, when I say the goats, I know I've talked about pigs on here, but the goats, man, we had like over 100 goats at a time. Maybe 120, 130, 150 even. It was a lot of goats. And when those fuckers got out, dude, God, they got out and you had to go and you're walking through the wheat fields and you're like, they don't want to go back into the pen. So it's a lifestyle, man. And for those people that find that pleasurable and enjoy it and love to do it, hats off to you, because we need that. We need people out there that are willing to just go shovel shit and all day just, God, it sucks. So thank you. Thank you. Dude, so a little bit about Native American Heritage Month, right? I was surprised to find this out. So there have been proposals, or there were proposals and advocacy for the recognition of Native American heritage throughout the 1900s, right? Early 1900s. But it wasn't until 1990 when George H.W. Bush was in office, that he signed some documents to designate Native American Indigenous People Heritage Month as in November, as that month. 1990. I feel like this should have been the group that was recognized first, like from the jump, you know? No? Like, yo, oh, we came over here, we took all your shit, we killed a lot of you, and then nothing for a couple hundred years. Like, that sucks, dude. Yeah. It's hard talking about some of these topics because I know in here we're about the good vibes, we're about the good days, but it's these a lot of shit BS, man, has happened in US history. Now, saying this to share that I think we should all be appreciative of where we are now and the fact that we have such diversity of thought, right? Because think about this. We all like to think, oh, I would have done different. I would have been different. Or my family would have been Dude, who knows? It's great to think that, but would we have been different back in the day? Let's take just if you were back in 1805, would you have thought the things that you think now? Very unlikely. Because you're siloed, right? You have your family, right? And you have an even shorter lifespan at that point in time. And you're only worried about what's happening right then and there. And there's no way you were thinking about equal rights for other people or equal this or that. And even if you were in that subset of people, you probably were like just shot or murdered. Isn't that crazy? People just got away with murder. People were just murdering people. Odds are that somewhere in our ancestry, everybody. Oh, dude, for sure. No, everybody has murderers in their ancestry. Isn't that crazy? Somebody in your lifeline, somebody like just a couple generations before you, probably just kill some people just cause they could and got away with it. That's wild. That's wild. Anyway, so 1990, George H.W. Bush signed some documents, and now we have Native American Indigenous People Heritage Month. Something that comes to mind was, so if you're ever out in Walla Walla, the Walla Walla area, dude, if you're in Walla Walla or you're planning on going to Walla Walla, I tell people this all the time and nobody takes me up on it. Just let me know if you're going to Walla Walla and we might be able to hook it up a little bit, tell you some places to go, tell you maybe if you're into wine, some wineries around the area, because it can be overwhelming. I think there's like over 100 plus wineries around the Walla Walla Valley. So it can be hard to decide which one you want to go to. Holla at your boy, dude. Let me know. I tell people this. Nobody takes me up on it. So, but there's this place in Walla Walla, the Whitman Mission, right around the outskirts of Walla Walla, which was back in the days, 1800s. Marcus Whitman, his wife Francisca, I want to say, was her name, and they were out there. They built this little cottage. They built a little mission, and they were just helping people out as much as they could. And they were expanding a little bit that area, the Whitman Mission, and the intent behind it was good. But you know how things happened back in the day. Some diseases got around. Some people got really sick. A big number or portion of the Cayuse, let's say, tribe that was right around that area started dying off, right? And so it was like, oh God, what's happening? So the tribe came out and it was, they offed the Whitman family. Tough. But so there's this memorial, there's a little museum area out there. This is the point I was trying to get to, is going in there and learning about that was super eye-opening, super cool. Tragic events, but there's it's just different times, dude. Different times. It's hard, and again, it's hard to say like, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have, dude. I don't know. Um, so in that museum, there were some pictures. I took this cool picture, dude. Mr. or Chief David Young, dude, dripped out in his full regalia. You see that? If you're listening only, you can't see this, but is this chief with like a big old headdress, and he's got, I think they're called war bonnet. It's a war bonnet, um, as well. That's another name for it. But the one with like the eagle feathers and the hawk feathers, and it just goes down. He's sitting up on his horse, dude, and full regalia. Even the horse is dripped out, dude. That's sick. And all this stuff is handmade, right? They don't got machines back in the day to make all this stuff. So handmade, hand painted, if it's even painted. I don't know, that this picture is black and white, but it's awesome, man. It looks really cool. This dude, horses too? Think about that. Taming horses. Here's the thing. You ever heard of, I don't know if this is the right term anymore, but it was Indian races. I think it's just Indian relay race. You ever heard of that? The Indian relay races? Let me look this up real quick. Cause, dude, I remember witnessing one at the Pendleton Roundup. And this is insane. It's like, so bareback, like, no, I don't think you can use like any ropes or anything, but is one dude or like a team of dudes, and it's like you jump on a horse and you run around the track, and then you jump off the horse while it's like running, and then you jump onto the next horse and you go around the track. I think it's like a time trial thing. Oh, here we go. It loaded up. So yeah, I think it's just still called men's Indian, yeah, Indian relay race. Rules and regulations. So let's see. Team members. 5 members to a team, 2 holders, 1 mugger, a rider, and an alternate, just like a backup. Okay. Team members must be federally recognized Indians. Oh wow. Okay, so you can only enter if you're Native American, Indigenous. Let's see, and you have a tribe. Wow. Yeah. Horses must be native owned. Limit 4 horses per relay race. Yeah, so it looks like this is exactly what I was talking about, dude. It's crazy. They're full clip, jump on this horse and jump off of it while it's sprinting, jump on the next horse, and you're grabbing it by like the mane, dude. There's no, let's see, starting positions, no other team. Let's see, horses, disqualifications. D. Oh wow, there's rules, dude. There are rules. A lot of rules. Championship, total prize money. There's prize money. Yeah, so it seems like this is just a thing around the nation, and there's like a national competition. That's cool. Let's see. Riders. Starting positions are on the ground at the designated area. Team holders will be required to assist on all starts. No other team member may touch or assist a rider in the mounting of horses during the starts or exchanges. Riders must dismount having both feet on the ground before mounting the next horse. The rider must ride all 3 horses. No changing of riders after the race has started. So just one guy. Dang, dude. Rider must ride all 3 horses bareback. Neck ropes are allowable. Okay, so just a rope, just a neck rope, maybe. But other than that, you're just bareback on this horse, full clip, dude. Crazy. Yeah, super fun to witness. I would not try it because, dude, horses, they're scary, dude. I know I said I grew up in the country, but still doesn't mean I can't be like horses are frightening. The amount of power that is, and it's kind of like, dude, you know, people that scuba dive around sharks, like big ass sharks. Why you do that? Why are you doing that? It's kind of the same thing for horses. For me, I'm like, why you getting on this beast? Like a gigantic thing that, yeah, and I get they're domesticated and they're cool and all, but like, you're just kind of poking the bear a little bit. You're like, you don't need to do this. Why do we need to ride horses? Do we need to ride horses? I mean, for fun, that's the thing, right? I guess to travel, but we got cars now. Why are you riding a horse? It ain't 1805. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. But not for me. Not for me. It could be for you. That's fine. Let's see. So yeah, Native American Heritage Month. Dude, you know, not only looking at the past, but think about all the stuff that's going on right now. You know, there's a lot of advocacy going on. There's a lot of people that are still trying to capture some land back, because that's another horrible thing that happened back in the day. It was like, hey, we're here now. We're taking all your land. You can hang out over there in these little groups and these little clumps. Just one little space for you. That sucks, dude. That sucks. Imagine somebody coming into your house and they're like, hey, I'm here now. So I'm going to take your house. You can stay over there in the guest bedroom. That's where you live now. Yeah, don't come over here. You can come over here and you can have some stuff, but you have to stay over there if you want to live and do your whatever you want to do. If not, you come over here and you fall under my rules. Like, that sucks, dude. Let's see. What else? What else been going on? Native American Heritage Month. So, you know, take a little bit of time this month. Learn a little bit about the indigenous people's backgrounds, and reach out to a buddy if you have somebody, if you're lucky enough to know somebody that is Native American or indigenous. I think sometimes too, you know, people feel, and I'll speak for like the Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month, right? For example, you might feel like, I don't want to step over a line or a boundary, and that's totally understandable. I get it. You don't want to, you know, seem disrespectful, but if you're coming from an area or a place of true, genuine curiosity and respect, most people are going to appreciate that you want to learn more about their history or their background. You know, like, dude, you come up to me respectfully and you're like, yo, tell me about your favorite meals as a child, you know, that you had the Mexican cuisine. Dude, you better buckle up and sit down, because I'm gonna talk your ear off for a half hour about how to make enfrijoladas, how to make sopes, my favorite pozole. Like, dude, it's cool. So yeah, you know, I think if you are a little apprehensive about reaching out to somebody that you know and learning a little bit more about them, I understand that. But, you know, there's a way to approach these things, again, with respect and true, genuine curiosity for the situation. And being okay with a no if somebody comes up to you, or if you go up to somebody and they're like, you know what? No. And that's okay. You got to accept that too. Got to accept that too and not feel any type of way about it. What else? What else? What else? Dude, this reminds me of this movie. Okay, it's kind of sad, but last sad thing, and then we'll move on. It came out in 2023, Killers of the Flower Moon. If you haven't watched that movie, check it out. It's a Martin Scorsese film. Leonardo DiCaprio is in it. Who else is in it? The other Robert De Niro, and then the main woman in it is Lily Gladstone, and so it's this story that it's based on all true events, right? And so these types of movies, you're like, God, that happened, dude, and I didn't know about it until just now. I'm gonna just read what the clip says here. So when oil is discovered in the 1920s in Oklahoma under the Osage Nation land, the Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. So it's a movie following a book based on a true story. When white businessmen and self-proclaimed friends of the Osage Nation orchestrated the murders of at least 60 members of the tribe in the 1920s. God dang, dude. Again, tough watch. It's sad, but it is very informational, and God, it gives you a different perspective on like some of those atrocities that have happened. And it just makes you, God, it sucks. That sucks when you think about it. Anyways, good movie though to learn about that era, that time. If you want to expand your horizons a little bit, hey, buckle up though. Like I said, it's gonna be it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's also like long. I think it's like 4 hours or something like that. Pretty infuriating, but get a good glimpse again into what that time was like for these folks, and everything that the indigenous people, the Osage people specifically in this movie, had to persevere through, And there are a lot of people that have had to persevere through a lot of different shit, right? So I think when you look at things like that and you look at life and you approach it through that perspective, it helps you be a bit more conscientious and empathetic, of other people. Anyways, okay. What else? On a brighter note, dude, went shopping. It almost felt like back to school shopping. Dude, it was cool. Went to these outlet malls down in Chehalis. Centralia. If you're out around this area, you should check it out, dude. There were some deals. Got myself a nice little rain jacket, dude. I was wearing it around the house all yesterday, like inside. Just, when you get like a new thing and you're like hella excited, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna rock this every day. Got a new rain jacket, got some new boots, got a new pair of shoes, dude. What else? Some polos, profesh, business cash. And it's cool, man. Now that you can when you can actually afford some things. Also, we got deals, dude. This is probably the best outlet mall I've ever gone to as far as like actually getting deals on stuff. There were things that were like 70% off and like good quality stuff. I'm talking Columbia. We went to Nike. We went to what's the other one? What's that one? Columbia, Nike. We went to Gap. That was cool. Kind of blast from the past. Where's the other one that we went to that was on the corner? I forget. Anyways, dude, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Had some good food as well. Good juicy burger, dude. Yeah. So now I'm all kitted out. I'm ready for the winter months, man. I'm ready for the rain. I'm ready for the downpour. And it's again, like we were talking about before, appreciate that. Appreciate the rain a little bit. If you're ready for it and it doesn't take you by surprise, you're cool. It's cool, Let's move into a little bit of music, dude. I'm going to just jump into this right here because I know I've been rambling for a little while. So we're going to cut this soon. The GDO playlist. The GDO playlist this week, this episode, we're dialing in on Willow. Drop the Smith. No Smith in the artist name, all right? You likely heard of her, right? Daughter to Jada and Will Smith. That's all I'm going to say about the parents before I get smacked. Yikes. You might say she's a Nepo baby. You wouldn't be wrong. But is that her fault? No, I don't think so. I like her at least because she doesn't flaunt it. It's not like out there buying the lavish shit and like putting it in your face all the time, right? Her online presence is very much like yogi, like, practices yoga, into like spirituality, into, she talks about different dimensions in her music as well. So I don't know. I think she's just really artistically gifted. And, you know, was it her individual choice to fall into music, or was she pressured? I don't know. I mean, there's a history, of parents in the music industry here. So we know, and both children, both Jaden and Willow, have come out with music. So I've been a Jaden fan, but I think, am I gonna say it, dude? Am I more of a Willow fan? That's a tough one, dude. It's different. It's just different because, they have different styles. But man, Willow, this most recent album titled Empathogen, released summer 2024. The expanded version came out in late September. Ooh, let me get a little. What was that? Let me dropped. So the expanded version dropped in late September, and it's categorized as a rock album, and it definitely has some rock pieces to it. I overall, it's a range, dude. She's got a range, is the thing. She's got, this like ethereal, spacey vibe to some of the tracks. I like it just seems like a soul searching album to me as well. There's, excuse me. It's a little mix of like delicate tracks with some, or lyrics with some like edgy punk, heavy, loud cymbals. The From, again, like I said, from her online presence is very on the nose for her, I feel like. She's got, like I said, man, the range. I think like she could do some opera, dude. Honestly, because she gets up there and she holds some of those notes. She also has a tiny desk, which I might link in the description of the pod, because her tiny desk is really cool too. Tiny Desk Concert by NPR. But man, I'm telling you, this range is cool because there are some songs that, like, you're listening intently and you're like in the lyrics and it's some delicate tones to it. And then there's some shit you want to scream at the top of your lungs while you're driving down I-5, 110 miles per hour. I'm not saying that you're driving that fast, but it makes you want to do that, dude. Specifically thinking of this song titled False Self, that is just like, God, it gets you going, dude. There's another one. If you're a runner, I don't run too much, but when I do run, I like to, listen to some music. There's this song called Symptom of Life, and I think it's just the perfect cadence for running. Cause like, at least, I don't know, my style of running, I guess, when I'm running, it's like it starts off a little bit slow, so you're maybe just starting off your run, you're getting into your little pep in your step, you're getting a little jog going, and then you can just take off when this drops in on this track, Symptom of Life. Yeah, man, there's some artists where you feel like, some artists do this better than others, right? Where you feel their emotion, you feel maybe what they were feeling or what they were trying to capture when they're recording this song, and those songs stick out with you. They stick out to you a little bit more, right? And I think Willow is one of those artists for me where I could feel what she was feeling, maybe, right? And it's that old adage, right? People won't remember what you say, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So hats off to you. Shout out Willow. for a banger of an album. It's cool. And she also goes against the like, it's not cookie cutter. It's not like, oh, I can clearly tell that this is the beat doesn't, it's not repetitive. You know, you don't get lost in like a mundane thing that's just like, oh, okay, chorus, melody, hook, you know, chorus. It's very unique, I think, to Willow. Yeah, man. Her artistic arc too. Think about going from With My Hair, whatever year that was, to now this. That's cool, dude. That's cool. Way to go. Way to go, Willow Smith. Dude, that brings us to the end. Before I keep rambling, I need to go pee too. So thank you for tuning in. And you know, the big 6-0, dude. We're making moves. We're almost at 100. That's kind of cool. For 100, that's kind of crazy, huh? Anyways, whatever. That's in the future. Right now, 6-0. Thank you for tuning in. And keep an eye out on the IG for some information about how to enter the caffeine giveaway. If you or somebody you know wants some new bag of beans, a new caffeine, new favorite roaster. But until next time, hey, be nice, be kind, and take care of you and yours. Hopefully everybody's getting enough sleep, and drink water, all right? Drink some water on top of the coffee. All right, y'all. Take it easy. Until next time. Mwah.